You talked about your models evolve, and that's a really important part. I think a really important part of MLOps effectively. It's understanding, like any other piece of software, your models are going to evolve and they're going to need changing. But in machine learning, I think it's different from other software. Could you just talk a little bit about what the reasons are why models, if you like, degrade in production? Why do they need to be updated on a regular basis?
Yeah, there's this effect called data drift. There's mostly that. What it basically means is that a model is trained on historical data, but so let's say you trained your model on 1 year of customer data, and you're running a website where customers are making purchases, and you trained your model to predict what customers will be interested in next, so that you give them already a recommendation what to buy. Now, that model is trained on historical data, but what if the model runs in production and there's suddenly a new event that, of course, this model has not been trained on? For example, there's a new product launch by Apple or by another major company that has not been incorporated in the training data yet. Then your customers will, of course, probably be interested in that data, in that new event or in that new environment, but your model does not know that yet, is not aware of that yet. So your model will still make recommendations based on behavior of the customers of last week, while this week is completely different because there's a new product, there's new data. So your model actually needs to be retrained continuously to see what those customers are interested in and what recommendations to make.
Yeah, that's great. That's really interesting. And I know that data drift or concept drift, is quite can be quite challenging. So we certainly have examples where you're almost in an adversarial situation where there's, for example, in risking algorithms that we've worked on, where once people understand how the risking system is working, they're then working to combat that system. So it's a really, you really do have to keep on top of your data and keep your models up to date.
Yeah, but there's also models, to be fair, that don't need that's frequent amount of retraining. If you for example do image classifications, it will not be suddenly that you have, let's say you have a machine learning model that predicts what kind of animal is in a picture. Yeah, I don't think you would be, there would be suddenly a new type of species or a new type of animal that has not been there before, right? So why would you keep on retraining your model for image classification of animals if you know that, the data that we have is quite stable actually? But in a customer environment or in a business environment, this is usually the case, and data drift is really one of those issues you should realize. And that's also why you should actually keep on monitoring your outputs. You should check for different kind of predictions that the model might be making, because what your model predicts is of course very uncertain. That's why it's a machine learning model. So once there will be suddenly a different kind of predictions that the model will make, then you should be realizing yourself, hey, is this something in my data, or is this something maybe in the model, or is this something in the environment that has changed? You try to act on that, basically.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and the kind, if you like, the frequency or the cadence of that retraining of that part of the process, I guess is something you have to kind of understand as you go through the development of the ML solution.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.